the baseball team, is this the third team that they've swept?
Yeah. Yeah, I think is the third team they've swept? Let's see. They've played Stony Brook, they've played Liberty, and they've played Boston College. Did they sweep all three, or did they win 2 out of 3 against
I believe they.
Stony Brook?
I thought I saw some graphic.
It's probably their 3 sweeps. That's right. They lost one. They played South Carolina. Hello, duh. We just did a show on it last week, right? So they lost one to South Carolina. They lost to College of Charleston, and I think they lost one more midweek, maybe in there somewhere. I don't remember, but look, it was a good weekend.
They got crushed by Charleston, right? That was
it was a brutal game. College of Charleston was a terrible midweek loss. I think we lost 11-2. Couldn't get anything going with the bats, and the pitching, the midweek pitching has been struggling for sure. But look, you make up for it with a sweep of Boston College. Boston College is a really bad pitching team, but they're a great hitting team. And our pitchers were able to do a pretty good job. Weatherly was good as usual. He's been doing a really solid job this year. We're going to need him to keep doing that, keep his walks down, that kind of thing. Sharp has not been, people were saying all over the radio today. I heard Sharp was not very sharp, probably 50 times. So I'm not going to keep going with that. Sharp was not very good. He needs to be a little bit better. He's got better stuff than that. Spencer Strider, I got to tell you, Spencer Strider, these last couple outings he's had, has been hit a little bit harder than I thought he was going to be hit. So, but hey, Clemson made a huge comeback on Sunday. They won the first 2 games, was able to come back from, I think, 3 runs down or something on Sunday. Even got a little bit of a taste of small ball going in there to win that game. So that was kind of fun. It was good stuff to see from Monty Lee. You know what an advocate I am of the small ball game. So, hey, Clemson got their bats going even against, a bad pitching staff. I think Boston College is the worst pitching staff in the ACC. But, hey, if you can't get it hit against them, who are you going to hit against, right? So Clemson was able to get their bats going, making better contact with the ball. I like to see that. So hopefully that continues on the rest of the year.
So they got up next, Presbyterian. Yep. Looks like, what is that, tomorrow, 6 p.m.? And then Winthrop. Mm-hmm. The next night, 6 p.m., those are 2 home games, and then they got to go, a long road trip here. Wake Forest, 3 games in a row, Coastal Carolina for 1 game, and then Notre Dame, 3 games in a row. So long trip. They won't be back at home until the 24th. Man, that's a long way, man. That's a lot of 7 road games in a row there. But obviously right now doing well, 12-3 overall, 3-0 in the ACC. And that loss you were talking about, East Tennessee State.
That's right.
In February.
Yep, forgot all about it. That was the first loss, I believe.
Towards the end of February, his first loss of the season. Yep. Now this team, I'm hearing great news about, even though they kind of, they got behind in this game. Yep. But I'm hearing they had a really good pitching staff out of the bullpen. Mm-hmm. And I'm just from the outside looking in, it seems like a good thing in a lot of ways that this team was able to come from behind, because I know they've been kind of picked on about not being able to score runs. Well, Boston College, 4-3 win, 12-5 win, and a 7-6 come from behind win. Yeah. I mean, to me, how can you say they can't score runs?
Yeah, they did a pretty good job. But like I said, I try to temper expectations because I want to be as real as I can be. Obviously, I've mentioned that Boston College was not a great pitching staff, but they used a little more small ball, which is what I've been talking about for quite some time. It's kind of interesting to see some of the things that I noticed. Are base running mistakes, just little errors that we have to clean up. We get caught stealing a good bit. I don't know what Coach LaCroix is doing at third base. He sends a ton of guys home that have no business being sent home. So I'm not exactly sure what is going on there, what he's looking at there. Had some players thrown out at the plate. Should have had a couple more if it wasn't for some great slides. You showed one last week when you were producing the show by Parker, I believe it was. But, there swings, that I'm seeing from Hawkins and Parker are much better right now, and they're putting the bat on the ball. They're going to be huge if Clemson's going to be able to continue scoring these runs. I liked Monty Lee and his strategy in the ninth when we got the leadoff runner on. They got a steal, and then he bunted him over to third with only 1 out. I think that's the perfect play. I would have advocated for a squeeze play after that. And what's funny is he had the guy swinging away, so we differ in philosophy there. But the guy rolled over to the top of one, and it acted just like a squeeze bunt, and we scored the winning run. So that was kind of cool to see. It's not exactly the way they drew it up, but it doesn't really matter as long as it works. So small ball, I'm a big fan of. I think this team is going to have to use that. Because they don't have the big bats they've had in the past. I think they're going to simply have to rely on that more. Getting runners over, whether it be by bunt, situational hitting, hitting behind the runner, that kind of thing. This team is showing some progress. I'm hoping they can continue to do so.
I'm looking here statistically. Clemson is ranked 22nd in the nation in strikeouts per 9 innings at 11.3. So they're doing really well in strikeouts per 9 innings, specifically the big dog, Sam Weatherly. 0.79 ERA, 43 total strikeouts. Mm-hmm. Whew, man. Faced 73 batters and has gotten 7 hits. That is crazy.
Oh. Yeah.
It's crazy. So, great pitcher there. Davis Sharp, 3.97. I always thought Davis Sharp was the ace. So is Sam Weatherly like now is he kind of like the ace for the team this year?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what it looks like. Striking a ton of people out. And then as far as batting goes, I mean, from around town, all I'm hearing about is Keir Meredith. He's 3.86 or .386 right now, batting average with 1 home run, 5 RBIs, 491 slugging percentage, and a 485 on base percentage. So he's the top guy there. Then below him is Henderson and Hackenberg. Do you feel like Keir Meredith is kind of like the star as far as the batting is concerned?
Yeah, it's really not even close. Keir Meredith's been rock solid all year long, and this guy, it's nice to see what we can do. We know we've had a superstar in Keir for quite some time now. He just can't stay healthy, and he's done that this year. And I'm guessing that he's going to be a big part of this thing going forward. We want him to stay as healthy as possible. Look, Brewer's starting to really come on. I like what I've seen from Brewer lately. Dylan Brewer, he has done really well. He's starting to put real good swings on the ball. Elijah Henderson started off incredibly hot to begin the season. He's been in a little mini slump for about a series or so, and then he kind of got back out of that funk this weekend, so that was good to see. And I think Chad Ferry finally broke through with a couple of big hits this weekend, some big hits. He got a home run, I think, to bust out of his 0-for streak, so that was kind of nice. But, yeah, a lot of people getting, seeing the ball a little better, maybe being a little more patient, swinging at better pitches, that kind of thing. So it's good to see, and we're going to need a lot more of that going forward.
So what's the deal between like baseball and especially with college baseball versus weekend games versus midweek games? Chat's talking about I hope the Tigers can do better in these midweek games. Is there kind of a scheduling strategy between the midweek teams and the weekend teams? Is it like the ACC games or weekend games?
Correct.
And the one-off games or midweek? Is that how it works?
Yeah, well, it's. I mean, you'll have some series with other teams like South Carolina or Liberty, Stony Brook in the beginning of the year, but then once you get into ACC play, those are the people you're going to have on the weekend. So during the midweek, you're pitching somebody that's not one of your three starters. Your weekend starters is what they're called. Obviously, they're still starters. They're starting during the midweek, so they're kind of your fourth and fifth guys that are kind of coming out there. Your fourth and fifth starting guys. Some guys are bullpen guys, and they're only going to be bullpen guys, and they've got great arms. People, want to plug them in sometimes. Hey, give them a shot, see if they can start a game. Well, they may do that, and they may try to experiment with that, but they're bullpen guys for a reason. Some guys have a pitch count. They can only throw so many pitches before their arm kind of goes on them. A lot of people do that if you're a closer, if you throw the ball hard, that kind of thing. So yeah, it's your midweeks are kind of those kind of teams, and your ACC series are on the Friday, Saturday, Sunday.
This is College Baseball University for Morgan Thomas tonight. I'm loving it. Thank you so much for this information, Big Al. I like to show off your baseball knowledge here. And Clemson Carson's saying that it's usually the freshman or the scrub that plays in midweek, so you got to try to get through that game with that lower guy. So when it comes to when it comes to Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm guessing Weatherly is the Friday guy.
Yeah, Weatherly's a Friday guy. Strider has been Sunday, and Sharp has been Saturday, actually. I thought there was kind of going to be reversed when the season started, but Strider's on a pitch count. He's kind of one of those guys that's on a pitch count right now, coming back from injury, so they're kind of nursing him along as a Sunday guy. Strider has really good stuff. I really think he could be your Saturday guy and would be better suited to be your Saturday guy, but he's got to get that pitch count up and got to be a little more consistent. They bring in Matt Clark in relief, usually of Spencer Strider on Sunday, and Matt Clark has been great, fantastic. I wouldn't be surprised to see him get a start maybe down the line. And
the big, distance, I guess you could say, between the two statistics or the two types of skills here in baseball. You got pitching on one end, top 25 in strikeouts per 9 innings, 131st in batting average. So a lot lower there on behind the plate as far as pitching now.
Yeah, I don't like to talk about the batting average as much because I really don't have a lot nice to say. I wanted to talk this show about how everybody's kind of got it together this past weekend, and they did a good job, and they did. And I hope that continues. I hope it not only continues, but it improves. But yeah, we got some guys that we just got to get going. Sam Hall is a big one. Sam Hall was, thought was supposed to be a huge part of the team this year. He's going to kind of be the shortstop and be one of our better hitters, more solid guys. And he has just had a really bad year at the plate. Didn't have a real good year at the shortstop either. He's been kind of replacing James Parker since. He can play everywhere though, so they're going to plug him in. They're going to continue to try to get his back going, and I really want to see that for him.